Sure. So IBM believes that blockchain really has the fundamental potential to completely reimagine industries. If you think about some of the well-known blockchains, Bitcoin and Ethereum, for example, they suppose that everyone in the network is anonymous, but that all of those transactions are public. But that's not actually the real world, right? We live in a world where you know who you're transacting with, but the value or the details of that transaction are private. So what IBM has done is taken the concepts and the underlying technology, but adapted it to real world scenarios and use cases. So we are a part of the Hyperledger project, which is in the Linux Foundation, and we've been building together with 30 some odd other companies technology called Hyperledger Fabric, which is kind of that base operating system. And then what IBM is doing is making it really easy to develop solutions to actually govern blockchain networks. Because if you think about blockchain, there are multiple parties that are actually sharing data and transacting. And you have to have rules around how that works. And then finally, we're making it really easy to operate and actually grow your network. So it's one thing to start with a small group of people that you know well and trust, but when you actually want to scale to large size, there's a lot more that you need to do. So IBM Blockchain Platform is really building everything that makes it easy to build those applications, govern them, and then operate and grow. IBM's also developing solutions in a couple of core areas where we see real need for our global economy and society. So you may have heard of IBM Food Trust. We're actually working with 12 different companies, from retailers to consumer packaged good companies to trucking companies, to really an entire ecosystem that's focused on one thing: making sure that we have a clear record of where food comes from so that you can trace the origin. And if you ever run into a terrible situation like an E. coli breakout or something else, today it takes up to 2 weeks to figure out what store that came from. And what IBM has been able to do with our blockchain technology is get that down to 2.2 seconds. So it's pretty incredible when you think about the fact that, if there's an E. coli breakout with spinach, not only does your local grocery store have to take out the spinach, but every other grocery store has to remove spinach because they have no idea where it came from. And you know what? People actually stop eating spinach for years. There was a breakout like this in the mid 2000s. It took 7 years for the spinach market to recover to its pre-outbreak levels. That's incredible. People aren't getting their spinach, right? So that's the kind of benefits that we see blockchain can bring.